The story of a people is told best by those who live it out daily. And when the history of that community is informative, inspirational, and insightful, it should then be shared with the world. The Clio Exchange does that.
People would pull out the little turntables, put them on the windowsill so that the neighborhood could share the music.
Oh yeah, the music. Oh yes, I remember.
We used to sing to those discs.
Sure. Well, you know, I remember our first record, or our earlier records before they became hits. We were still living in the projects, all of us, and we would open the doors and the music would be wafting out into the air, you know, and kids would hang around and say, "Oh wow, look, they got a new record!" And you know, we were like local heroes.
Yeah. So you were still in the projects with the first hit?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I guess you were local heroes.
Yes, we actually went to England in '64. I don't think we did our command performance in '64, but we were hanging out with royalty then, and we were still living in the projects.
How old were you at that time?
I think I probably
19?
Early 20s, maybe 20, 21, going
still
on 21.
Living in the projects.
Still living in the projects.
Now
In fact, we were on this tour.
You were generating an awful lot of money for Motown.
Well, you know, not in the early days.
No?
Not in the early days. 64, 65, we were selling records, but we had to pay Motown back a lot of money because they had recorded us all these years.
Oh.
And we didn't have to give anything. So, you know,
Right.
it was one of the exchange.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, right. But we were touring all over Europe in '64 and '65, and we were on the road so much that by the time we came back, we had, you know, made a lot of money. And I recall we wanted to buy new homes, and so we had the agents, while we were on the road, go out and scour Detroit, you know, and try to come up with a bunch of houses so that when we came in town for like 2 or 3 days, we could run and see the houses that they had found. And do you know that we ended up, the three, we being the three, Diane, Florence, and myself, ended up buying homes on the same street without knowing it? Well, we hadn't conferred with each other or anything.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We on the
That's
same street
incredible.
within 2 blocks of each other.
To show you how close you guys
How close
were.
we were, right?
I mean, well, look how much time you spent together.
Yes, I think so. I think we are, as far as I'm concerned, soul sisters. I know that was something that was made in heaven. I mean, I just know, I've always felt that way. I feel as close to Florence and Diane as I do to my sister. You know, I just really feel that that kinship.
Time and all the circumstances.
It's still, I mean, I think of them as if they were still right here in my heart, both of them.
When you think about the life that you guys lived, I mean,
we did some phenomenal things.
Incredible things.
And you know, when I look at some of the polls today, I'm speaking recording and recording industry and all, sometimes it saddens me that people kind of forgot the things that we accomplished at the time that we accomplished it. Not so much that, because obviously the children, the teenagers, the young people today who are recording are doing some phenomenal things, making phenomenal money that we never ever made. But I think when you take the time frame and you look at what was going on in the world and in America socially, I think that the accomplishments we Supremes made was just far beyond what's being done today. And that's not to diminish anyone's talent or anything like that, or accomplishments. It's just to say that in the environment, I have a lecture that I do, I tour universities and this and that.
What's
in fact,
the theme?
oh, doctor, I'm sorry, I'm a doctor as well.
How about that?
Yes, honorary doctorate
Well, it's a
from.
pleasure to meet you, doctor.
Nice to meet you, doctor. Forgot I should say that. From Payne University in Augusta, Georgia.
Wonderful.
But, yeah, and when I think about back in those days, the accomplishments, I mean, breaking open certain doors for people. When we would travel the world, we didn't see women behind it. Like, there's a woman behind your camera there working this camera. Hi. You didn't see women in the workforce like that. I mean, we were out there and we were like really, there are other women, but I mean, very few women in the workplace. I mean, now there's CEO women, you know, I mean, all kinds of women. My friend who's here is a district attorney, right, you know, I mean, there are women in such powerful positions now, whereas when we were out there, you didn't see women out there like that.